everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, April 5th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. You will, if you haven't seen already, you're going to see every effort by lower dark matter frequencies to try to convince the surface population of the planet that they are in charge, that everything is in their hands, and that doom and gloom is going to descend upon the civilization. This is expected because it is what they do. So this is why it's so imperative for us as awakened ones to make sure we are outside of the show. It's important for us to be outside the show. We've been in the show for a very long time. We know what it's about. We know how it's constructed. And we know what its control mechanism is. So since our frequencies are continually arising, and the collective consciousness of this planet is continually rising, we aren't engaged in that. But you have residual. We all do. And the residual is just the essence, kind of like a leftover. When we're out of that frequency, it's real easy to step back in it because we've been in it so long. So we decide to step out of it, choose to, which gives us even more conscious awareness so that we can facilitate a closure. And the closure is that we seal it off so that we get to the point where we aren't even one inclination, no matter what attempts are created, that we would ever enter again. And yeah, during the course of the transition here, we may step in here and there. That's not a big deal. But to be aware of everything, to be aware that there will be people coming out talking about doom and gloom, they were part of this or that, and they'll continually talk about it, but they have been disconnected, so they're generating information that is no longer valid. So the shifting is in great movement, and the shifting is us. Understand that as the collective consciousness, as part of the collective consciousness of this planet, we reach out. It's not just secluded to this area. Our collective consciousness is connected to all consciousness, to pure consciousness. And we will learn as time, as we progress, that we'll be able to connect to pure consciousness. And then that will give us the ability to see all things from many different perspectives. So I guess you could kind of look at this as how do I put it? We've qualified ourselves to sustain higher frequency. And so once we do that, we'll continue to ascend. We'll continue to elevate ourselves into higher and higher frequencies, and knowing ourselves better of who and what we are. And once we connect to the one, and we connect to the one on a consistent basis, and then eventually we're connected to the one all the time. And we're connected to the one, but most are not conscious of this. It's really it's quite fascinating that you have all these gods on this planet, and yet so many are disconnected from within, and always thinking that everything is outside of them, and that the external authority is what they rely on. And it really isn't. It isn't a bad thing. It doesn't make people that are in that frequency bad. It just makes them unconscious. So we understand that. That's why a lot of us will receive, rolling eyes, or "you're crazy, that can't be." And so many of us are moving in such an accelerated direction, upward, forward and up, that we're compelled to share the information with others. It's kind of like it comes over and says, I just feel like I want to share this with others, and to awaken them, to get them to feel more aware. It's not like I'm looking for gain with them. It's not like I'm trying to manipulate them. It's just out of the love that I am for myself and them that I would like to share this with them, so that they too can be clearer and become more conscious of what's happening, what's taking place, and to know for themselves that it isn't doom and gloom. And every time, we know this, every time doom and gloom is portrayed upon the civilization, it does not take place. And people say, why is that? It's because the collective consciousness will not entertain it to its full outcome. It goes to a certain extent, if you ever notice that, but then it stops. And see, we've gone beyond that, many of us. So now we don't even care to interact with it. We really aren't participators. We don't participate. We may sometimes interact with it, but we don't participate in it. And this is what's happening. And when you have this many gods, over 9 billion gods on this planet, on the surface, and many, of course, are not aware, but that's okay, because they're all being lifted. Some of them, a lot of love under pressure, a lot of anger, a lot of fear generated, but it's not as much. It's not as much. And you'll see and witness as the watcher on what transpires in the next handful of days. So we're in a wonderful, phenomenal, uplifting understanding that we, not something out there, we, all of us, the one, are creating this transition. And people say, well, why now? Why is it? Because it is time. It is the direction to engage and to finally lift all frequencies into higher existence, so that we maintain and move higher and deeper into deep eternal love, gratitude, joy, peace, first with ourselves. It must always be with ourselves to begin with. That's where you forgive and let go of all of your guilt feelings, or no, maybe this is being selfish. And there's different selfishness. And when you are getting to know you, your body, your physical, your God, your spiritual, and balancing that, and discovering and forgiving and loving yourself, that's imperative. That helps immensely with our frequencies for ourselves. And so being selfish with yourself in that perspective is very wonderful, you see. Now, it's different when you're and helping people and giving to people. That's a selfish where you're withdrawn. You don't want to share or help others. That's a different selfish. And so that is a low frequency selfish. We have a high frequency selfish, which means of working with ourselves loving, nurturing ourselves, being gentle and kind with ourselves, discovering many things, many aspects of ourselves along the way. We eliminate the guilt. Okay? We eliminate the undeserving feelings that we receive on occasion. And we know that that comes from the ego mind. We're aware of it. We still will experience it on occasion. But that's what happens. Isn't it ironic or interesting that the very things that we are faced with in this life is because we create them? And even a more of a lighter side of it is that we aren't aware that we've created them. We think or believe that it came from somewhere, that there's some force that is doing this to us, say, and the only force that it is us, within us, who and what we are. So we move this, and we begin to master and start to unravel it. And then we come to the understanding with ourselves that says, wait a minute, I'm creating these things into reality. So you identify that first. Once you identify that you're creating it into reality, you begin to realize that, okay, so if I know that I'm creating this into reality for myself, whether it be bad, good, or indifferent, we begin to master things. You say, okay, so I'm not going to take this and create it into reality or for some manifest. So we create it into reality and we experience it. Now it's like, why would we create so many things for ourselves that are so challenging, so discombobulating? Why would we do that? Well, because of the fact that the ego mind is running us for the most part. That's why, because the ego mind is never satisfied, remember. And we're not talking about the mind, we're talking about the ego mind. So, it becomes apparent, and then we identify it. We identify the ego mind. We say, okay, now I'm getting to the root of why a lot of these things that I bring and create into reality for myself. So see, once you get to that point and you're able to differentiate between the ego mind and the heart mind and the function of both, you will automatically gravitate to the heart mind. And as you gravitate to the heart mind, you begin to distance yourself from the ego mind. And as you distance yourself from the ego mind, you become more in love with yourself, in love with the God that you are. You begin to embrace more gentleness and kindness and appreciation for yourself, bliss and joy, and distance yourself more and more from the ego mind. Now, the ego mind does not give up, so it will incessantly try to entice you and seduce you back into its fold. But you're aware of this, see? And you may not be, completely structured that you know all how to maneuver away from the ego mind, but you are aware, you're knowledgeable, so that you can identify it if you choose. And you know that you're not blaming anything, see? You're not, well, it's this fault, or this is why. Because you know that you take full responsibility because you are beginning to understand that you create things into reality. We all do. We do it 24/7. It's not like we do it once in a while. We are always creating. And that's why this planet we're able to shift it into higher frequency and the life in the world that we choose to be in. It's really us choosing our paradise and our God planet. And it's doing this from moving away from the ego mind that we are aware of in more and more an intimate relationship with the heart mind, which then begins to oversee the ego mind. And it's about mastering for ourselves. And first it's with ourselves. Then we get to a certain point, we begin to share with others who may not be as far along, which doesn't make them any different than us. It may not be as far along as some of us are. So a lot of us are compelled to say, well, they're starting to come around. So, and this isn't about saving people, okay? This has nothing to do with religion. This is about our love for ourselves and all life. See, that's what this is about. It is about love for ourselves and all life, and how we view life as the highest frequency and the highest value in the universe. And what creates life? Love. What creates love? Pure consciousness. So, we choose how we do this with ourselves, and then we share with others, but the others become more and more aware, and you're very subtle about it. We just, you don't just jump all kinds of information on somebody, but you just kind of subtly communicate. And this is all about, it really is. The more we smile, for no reason, don't have to have a reason, the more we smile with ourselves, the more that we do that, it changes our perspectives. And we are experiencing, and we are the creators of one of the most massive shifts on any inhabited planet anywhere in the universe. From complete disarray, destruction, self-annihilation, to paradise and God planet existence in a world of eternal love, peace, happiness, prosperity, bliss, and joy, tranquility, benevolence. I mean, this is a massive, and we're all participating in it because we've all chosen to. See, it's not like we're being forced to. Have you ever noticed that? That you're just, whether you're 15 or 100, we've chosen to be here at this time. It's not happenstance. There's no such thing as coincidence. We're here because we chose to be here. Now, maybe, how we incarnated and the control factors and everything, but all in all, in the great plan of this universe, we are here to engage this transition, to move it. And that's exactly what we're doing. The more we understand who and what we are, and the more that we love ourselves, the more we will love others, period. And a lot of people may be fearful of a world that we're creating, okay? And a lot of people may be very afraid of the world. And when you have fear of the world, you really have fear of love. You ever heard that? Fear of love. Now, there's a lot of people on this planet that have fear of love. That's why when I've talked to a lot of people who, in different words and different explanations, that they fear going within themselves. They fear it. They fear love. Isn't that interesting? And actually, what we're creating for ourselves, we can drop all fear. Because there are many of us, more and more every second, that are awakening, and we can use all of them We need every single one of us. And the world that we are creating is literally going to lend us the most amazing life imaginable. And all of our futures, as we are creating them, we know them to be bright, spectacular, and magnificent, and totally flawless. Now, our mind, we know, does perceive things to be bleak or dark at times. At times, remember. But our future, we are creating in this very now, is brighter than 1,000,000 suns, 1,000,000,000 suns, 1,000,000,000,000 suns. And no matter what happened in your past, doesn't matter. We are all destined, because we are creating it into reality, for an unforgettable and amazing future. Brilliant. Spectacular. We are being guided by the God within us, by pure source creation. Now, a lot of us don't know that, but we are being guided. As much as we fear love, as some of us do, instead of fearing the unknown, we embrace it. All of us embrace the unknown. Everybody on this call embraces the unknown. And the God within is guiding us. And the universal, the pure consciousness of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, creates through our intent exactly what we desire. And we participate in it because we are part of it. And we should, with ourselves, practice nothing but positive thoughts. Nothing but positive thoughts. Your destiny is your creation in this very now. We must always remain completely receptive and open to the gift of the now, of this moment. And all of this gives us great power, of which we are. We gain wisdom every second. And by us, each of us choosing to trust every moment of our life, we are allowing our inner guidance to show us the way. Now, our mind, when we still the mind in the now, it will be quiet, and we will be able to hear exactly what we most need to do to reach our greatest success and highest potentiality in life. And this is why we relax our bodies, and we will begin here to go into meditation. And remember something, and Albert Einstein put it very well. Matter is energy. Energy is light. We are all light beings. And I'm not talking about the Luciferian light. That is a low frequency light of deception. I am talking about divine light, frequency, energy, created by pure consciousness from source creation throughout existence. So the name, this meditation is light energy beings. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. First thing we want to do is relax our bodies. A lot of us are like sponges. In fact, I think we all are. And we are not exempt from absorbing things, taking them in, the different thoughts that we're not conscious about yet, the different attitudes, directions, what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we feel, what we touch, all of these things. We're constantly absorbing this into the body, and the body can become, as we all know, diseased and not happy as we continue to collect stress, anxiety, and worries and fears. And we do that. We also, with love and bliss and happiness and joy. And our point is to make sure that we are absorbing more happiness, love, and joy of that which we are than we are the other stuff. So if you know you're a sponge for this, then you automatically know. And it isn't about, you got more stress than I do. It's not about that. It's about you identifying the fact that I understand that I absorb stress, fear, and anxiety and everything like we all do. And I also know that I'm aware of it. So I am in communication. I have a wonderful relationship with my body. So I ask my body, let's relax. Let's just go into relaxation. So what you do is you empty the sponge. You ever taken a sponge and squeezed it? All the liquid falls out of it. Still damp, right? It's not completely dried so it turns rock hard. But it's all of that stress and fear and anxiety have been literally taken out of that sponge, which is you. And that lifts you, and it gives you a much more peaceful, serene existence in the body. And so you let it all go. You let it go wherever you hold it, and the shoulders drop. The shoulders, let everything just fall. Totally relax your body. Inside and out, head to toe. Only you can do it. And as we do this, and we let it all go, and, we empty the sponge, squeeze the sponge of all that heavy liquid, then we want to move into the now. And the now is really all that there is. Only the now. It is not about us going into our past, which is all dead, it's all done, and dragging the past into the future to create our future from the past. Create a future from past dead. Think about that. Right? Does it make anybody bad? It doesn't. It's just that we don't care to do it. We move forward. We're in the now. We are creating our futures in the now. We are designing and building our futures. The world we desire to be in. The paradise, the God planet. The love, the joy, the bliss, the peace, the abundance, the prosperity, all of it. This is what we're doing in the now. Does it make any sense for us to just drop the now, go into the past, take all those dead things, that we've already experienced, no matter how wonderful they were, and take it into the future, recreate the past and our future? No. Look at how much more exciting and fulfilling and wonderful it is to create our future in the now, exactly the way we desire it. So we're in the now, and we're creating our future. So we want to breathe. We breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. And to explain how powerful breathing, breathing is that it takes us from a physical plane into an etherical plane of existence and beyond. So as we breath in, we begin by taking a really nice, comfortable breath, and we take that breath, and we take it from the sacral chakra, and we literally pull it right up through the center of our bodies, tracing over all of our chakras, all of our etherical energy points, up through the throat chakra, all the way into the eye chakra, crown, and we take it and we move it into liquid underneath our skull cap, our cranium. And underneath it we have our brain, and we have the liquid sitting on the back, our back area, just up in the skull cap, and right over the pineal gland. And then we take the liquid and we release it over the pineal gland. It saturates the brain and goes into the pineal gland, and it nurtures and expands the pineal gland. It's not all shriveled up and shrunk. It begins to come alive. And we want to do this and continually do it in at least 6 runs, where we pull it up, out, back down, and back up. So you breath in, pull it up and out, breath out, and then you breath in, pull it up and out, and you continue to do that like it's a literal cascading event. So it cycles up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down. And you want to do this at least 6 times. Visualize it in your heart mind and what this means. Because eventually the pineal will give you the gateway to all things, to all creation, to pure consciousness, to beyond consciousness. It is the gateway. And we will be using it more and more, individually and collectively. So our breathing is so important. Focusing on our breath, utilizing it, being grateful for our breath. And we also know that we have the ego mind, which is there. It's not a little pipsqueak, mind you. It's very powerful, and it does come in. But our heart mind is much more powerful. So we understand that. So it's kind of like a tug of war at times, but we get to the point where we understand that, and we embrace the ego mind, we love the ego mind, and eventually the ego mind will figure out the fact that we are using it less and less, and eventually it will be no more. This is a fact. It will occur with this civilization. Now, we breath in divine positive energy. And the divine positive energy is constantly communicating through our God within and through our heart mind, not our ego mind. It comes in, it's a feeling, it's a vibrational frequency that we experience. And it communicates with us that in this now, we are creating an unforgettable and amazing future. An unforgettable and amazing future. And there's no way that we won't. And a life that we truly, deeply love just an amazing experience that we're coming into. And no matter what the outside last vestiges and the last gasps of control of the lower dark matter frequencies, it will all slip away and vaporize. And you'll see it and you're experiencing it. There's no reason for us to even give 1 midget of our power and frequency to those lower dark matter frequencies. We have no reason, no motivation to it. We are all light beings, all of us. We are from the light, of source creation, of prime source creator God, of the masculine, feminine, mother, father God. All of us have been created by source creation out of deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. We are all light beings. And we are all magna glorious beings. Now, we are with our heart mind. We choose to be. This is where our natural state of being is while we're in these bodies. And the kingdom of God within each and every one of us. The God, the one. So we, the three of us, are one. The body, the heart, mind, and the God. One. And we have others with us now. The archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of the angels. They've been with us since the beginning. Trillions of them. They vibrate at a different frequency than we do. They appear at times to give us a message in humanoid form. Other times we just sense them. Other times we see them in rarity, their real form. And they are all of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And up 40, 50,000 can surround us at any one time. It's because they're in a higher frequency, they can inhabit space much differently than we perceive it. We also have the Ascended Masters. They're with us, constantly assisting in any way they can without intruding. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Hell, and Thought. Many, many, many more. They've ascended out of body and hold God form. What is God form? Pure consciousness. We ascended into body to experience physical form. So our bodies, the temple, holds the kingdom of God within it. The heaven. And the more we go within, the more we discover the true heaven that we all are. They are all of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. We all are. We're all one. And we all come together and we form like a halo or circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth Gaia. And those of us who have physical form, we don't have the form anymore because we are the light. All of us. This light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of space. So as we begin to levitate ourselves, which is this light, this circle of light, and we begin to move up, we bathe the planet and all life on it, inside and out, head to toe. And as we do this, we see through our heart-mind this beautiful gossamer field. It's everywhere. It has these brilliant colors. Spectacular. And the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. The violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds us of our power, of our strength, of our resolve. The white fire. This is a column that reminds us that we are protected at all times. The white fire is the highest frequency of deepest eternal love and deepest eternal gratitude. And it is like armor. You can see it. It's like a brilliant prism, flame, light, brilliant. And it is literally made of pure love. It's the highest frequency. So all dark matter, lower dark matter frequencies, cannot sustain themselves within that high frequency or near it. So they vaporize, they fall away. But it is our choice that if we do dip down too far in the lower dark matter frequencies, fear, anger, hate, greed, manipulation, worry, stress, we will open the door and allow them in. We are also reminded of the purple transmuting flame. This is a column that we can bring in very simply and transmute all of these lower dark matter frequencies into a neutral light substance. And we just send them back to the great central sun or source creation for repurposing. And also behind that we have the violet ray. This is a column that reminds us that we can bring the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, purify the area, intensify the frequencies in a much higher, deeper, eternal love, and the door is closed, and our frequency is restored. We also have the golden white pink light. This light, which you're seeing more and more in sunsets, and reflections, and all over the planet, this is the light of the deepest, purest, eternal love. This is what we are. It's what we're made of. It's what surrounds us. It's what embraces us, nurtures us, strengthens us, lifts us. This column reminds us of that we are, that I am. Now, as we continue to levitate up, we see this massive tower, crystal and light tower. And we watch as it seems like it has a waterfall effect, but the waterfall goes out and it curves down and it saturates everything. And it is pure, deep, eternal love and bliss. Imagine that. And we watch it as we continue to levitate. This thing's massive. It's larger, way larger than this planet and this solar system. It's absolutely spectacular. And it is there, and it is not going anywhere. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. Now, we all, in this light, as we continue to levitate, some of us step outside the body that holds physical form. And as we do this, we do it effortlessly. We immediately call out to all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the googolplexes. One googolplex will fill this universe. They come in the trillions of googolplexes from every direction. And arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, they join us in this meditation, this now in this circle of light. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, the highest of deepest eternal love, and we are all one. We are all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, continues to intensify, and continues to expand. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, many, many, many civilizations. Only those are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude and join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, and they come in the billions. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us now in this meditation, in this circle of light, in this now. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are in the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one, and we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. And it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We call upon all of the off-worlders, all the galactics, many, many, many civilizations. Just to mention a fraction of our familiarity, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, and the Andromedans. Only those are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude in full consciousness can join us in this meditation and this now in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, stillness of mind, non-ego, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we're all one, and we're all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and continues to expand and continues to intensify. They have been with us in our evolution, in our ascension, in our enlightenment, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, bliss, joy, peace, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one. And we are all love. Our God light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. Just to name a few of them: the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the trillions. Shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never laid eyes upon before. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love, and we are all one, and we are all love. And our God-light energies and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion. This sphere is of the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. It holds hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of our meditations. Pure consciousness, pure deep eternal love, pure deep eternal gratitude. And it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We can feel it as it saturates our physical and our etherical bodies. Our body, that of which we are in this now, and our God. That is what we are, always have been, and always will be. We feel it as it literally floods, saturates, bathes us all in this deep eternal love, this massively uplifting high frequency of which we are of, transforming ourselves, this planet, and our lives in complete direction of joy, bliss, peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, always. These are frequencies that we will maintain more and more in the love for ourselves, and the love for our God, and the love for all of us. We look down upon this planet Earth Gaia, and we see all of our friends, we see all of our brothers and sisters, we see all life, we feel all life, the highest value in the universes, and they are being flooded and saturated and bathed in this spectacular high frequency of the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude. And it's continually lifting the entire civilization up, forward, and up into the higher and higher frequencies. Massive awakenings will continue to occur across the surface of this planet, and the transition is on high beam acceleration. All dark low matter frequencies that wish to do harm on this planet, in it, above it, and below it, no longer sustain their frequencies. They are being vaporized. The more love that we pour forth of that which we are, the higher the frequencies will become. The more they will be sustained. And the paradise, the God world, the heaven on this earth, which is all of us as gods, will be. And so we say, and so it shall be. I join you in the meditation. Return to close us out. with you the rest of the day and to the evening and night and the following morning. Because we are all, every one of us, light energy beings. And everywhere we walk, we light up the darkness away. So everywhere we walk, we light up the path to higher frequency, the deeper eternal love, the deeper eternal joy. Our spirit, our God, rises further and further into pure consciousness and beyond. And we will be back here Monday, April 6th, 2020 at 3 p.m. Eastern to carry on our global guided meditation call. And we will have a special TFCC this coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about one thing that's very important now is what is ascension. We're also going to talk about some heavy-duty health applications so that we can continue to keep these bodies in the best possible condition to carry our gods around.